in Miami. When you were the head coach, you allege in the lawsuit that the owner, Stephen Ross, approached you about tanking games to get a better draft choice and said he would give you $100,000 for every game you lost. As you can imagine, that obviously has enormous repercussions. What can you tell me about the specifics of that offer? How specifically did he state that to you?
You know, that was a conversation about not doing as much as we needed to do to win football games. You know, take a flight, go on vacation. I'll give you $100,000 per loss. Like, those are just the, exact words. And it's not something, look, I deal in truth. And I say that to the players as well. I'm going to give you, good news, bad news, but it's going to be the truth. It's going to be honest. And in that instance, look, I came from, look, this game's done a lot for me, a lot for me personally and my family. I've said this, on other, shows, but my parents are immigrants. I'm first generation. I grew up with, in a tough neighborhood here in Brooklyn, Brownsville, where there's crime and poverty and, violence. And it was hard to make it out of there. And the game of football is a reason why, or a big reason why, along with a lot of the great people mentors I've had in my life, why I was able to have the success that I've had. So to disrespect the game that way was something that, trust was lost, and there were certainly some strained relationships, and ultimately, I think that was to my demise in Miami.
And his story is not unique.
Right.
People are tweeting out. Coaches, high-level coaches, who have even contacted us, are talking about being in a similar situation. So, as part of what we're doing in creating this class action, is not just Coach Flores is taking the lead and making the ultimate sacrifice, but there's going to be more.
I want to make sure I'm clear here. You're saying coaches are reaching out about having been in similar situations with regard to hiring or with regard to being incentivized to lose games?
Both.
I want to come back to you quickly on that, though. I want to make sure I'm perfectly clear. He was suggesting, I don't want to put words in your mouth, you were working too hard, you were doing too much in the effort to win. He was trying to get you to do a little bit less and said, I'll give you $100,000 for every game you lose?
Exactly that. That's just not in my DNA. That was never going to happen.
So what did you say to him?
That's never going to happen. I didn't come here. Look, I'm always going to try to win. That's who I am. And I owe that to the players in the locker room, but also the support staff that's in the building, who work extremely hard. If you've been in an NFL building, everyone in that building, his job is important. And everyone works hard to try to get on the same page and move in the same direction. And I felt like we were building that type of culture. So I would never do that to them, And at the end of the day, I think it was the reason why I'm no longer there.
Okay, so that's the Dolphins piece of this. And then there's another piece involving the Denver Broncos, in which you allege that this is back when you were still coaching in New England and interviewing for a head coaching job in Denver, one you subsequently did not get, in which you state that in an interview that you had with them, that John Elway and another Broncos official showed up an hour late, looked disheveled. It was obvious to you they had been drinking heavily the night before the interview. You say it became clear they only were interviewing you to fulfill the provisions of the Rooney Rule. What specifically can you remember about that interview?
So I've had 9 interviews with NFL clubs. There's been one interview where anyone was late. And it wasn't me that was late, it was the interviewers who were late. That was with the Broncos. I think there was a reason why they were late. I think they were, they'd been out the night before. I think that's the reason why.
What made you believe that? I don't mean to interrupt you, but what gave you the impression, if you will, that they had been out drinking the night before?
Well, I mean, when you sit at a table with 5 people who are interviewing you, you can tell who's asking questions, who's into the interview, and who's not necessarily in the right state, I would say, in that moment. But even then, obviously, I put my best foot forward. And showed why I was a good candidate for that job. I'm always going to do that. But I certainly did not feel like I was taken seriously and that I was just there as a Rooney Rule.
Vic Fangio ultimately was hired for that job and was subsequently fired a month ago. You are aware, of course, that the Broncos have released a statement emphatically denying the allegations, giving specifics about what time the interview began, what time it ended, where it took place. They say they have notes. What is your reaction to that?
I deal in truth. That's my reaction. I deal in truth. Honesty, integrity is important to me, and hopefully there's a day when we find out the truth on that one.
Once again, to be clear, there's no question in your mind about your recollection of this, regardless of what they say. Yeah. Okay, and so now, as I pointed out repeatedly this morning, you are currently a candidate for 2 vacant head coaching positions in the NFL, in New Orleans and in Houston.
Yep.
How have you handled those situations with regard to filing this lawsuit?
Well, before we filed the class action, I sent messages to both teams, letting them know that we would be filing, but also that I still had was very interested in coaching and leading either one of those teams. Look, coaching it's what I love. It's a passion of mine. It's I'm called and gifted to do it, and the reasons why is because I love helping young people reach their potential and become the best version of themselves on and off the field. So I would love to lead an NFL team, but we need change. The hiring practices in the National Football League. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. I mean, there's one black head coach. The league's filled with 70% of black players. I know there are capable coaches in this league to lead teams. I have some on my staff. I know the majority of them, I would say. I know what kind of integrity and character and leadership that they have, and they deserve an opportunity, a real opportunity.